Okay, so I'm talking to you from my mobile studio. Got a few thoughts. The firewood is getting processed as time allows. I'm not trying to, go gung-ho because there's a lot of work to do and I got to just pace myself. To the point now where we have enough firewood to last us maybe another week. Right, I'm heading out to back to look at the firewood shed. See what we got left for burnable wood. So this is the south facing bays. Nothing in there, just a sheet of plywood. We're looking on the other side. I usually stash wood in the uprights. You can see some is right down here. There's a small amount in that lower bay of that pallet. The rest of that's empty. This is empty. That upright is empty. I do have maybe one bucket left of kindling. We'll go down to this side. There's a little bit still stashed in this upright. You can see this right here. Now these are the woods that I put aside that have really goofy grains. You can see that undulation there. I thought those would be cool, like safe or something. I don't know what, but there's a little bit of firewood right there. Maybe enough for 2 or 3 buckets. Same right there. Because I stashed them inside of the uprights, take advantage of all the different spots. Same thing here. This upright is empty. So you can see how I've been picking the wood. I stored a bunch in these uprights as well. There's some more over here. It's kind of a tedious process pulling that wood back out. Same thing over there on that one by the buckets. And the hula hoops, you can see the firewood inside of the pallet uprights. And there's some right here too on this end here. So all I got left, or you can see it there, if you look through the pallets, you can see the firewood in there. And I think over on this side as well, you can see the firewood in there that's stashed, behind that pallet. So the woodshed is empty, other than the residuals in the uprights, all the bays. This is like gardening stuff in here, but all the bays are pretty much emptied. But I can still harvest some wood from the woods. We have a lot of down trees that I can cut up and grab that firewood for the stove if we have some cold nights and we need to do that. But basically the woodshed's empty. There's still some residual wood in the uprights. Made the woodshed out of pallets, so that allowed a little storage space inside of the uprights. So what I did is I put some in there. So I've got enough firewood right here to fill the entire woodshed once this is split. But for this end of year burn, I can salvage what I can from the uprights in the woodshed and burn that and share out what I can depending on how much I got left. There is a lot of wood. If I give a spin around up this way, back in our woods we do have a lot of down trees that I can get into that have been laying there for a long time and they're dry. So back in the woods here, if you look way back there, there's a couple trees that are down that have been laying. So I can go back up there with my chainsaw. There's some other little stuff over here laying on the ground. So I can still get firewood out of the woods, but it's going to be some work. So I'm currently at there's even some odds and ends right there. So I'm pretty much at the bottom of the barrel. I got enough to get us through the next probably week of burning. Maybe a little longer if I go in the woods and harvest some of the down trees. But essentially what I'm going to do is split this big stuff stacked up here into smaller, more manageable sizes that fit in the wood stove and get that put into the woodshed. I'm going to continue to work on this stuff here and get this busted down to sizes I can put in the woodshed comfortably and handle. So that's my plan moving forward. So here's the other side of that. So there's plenty of firewood here to refill the woodshed. And I did bring down my electric log splitter. I oiled that up, cycled that a few times. That's working just fine. So I can break down some of this bigger stuff into the stuff that'll fit in the stove. These pieces here are too big to fit in the stove. I gotta like chip them down a little smaller. So that's my overall plan. So I'll be grabbing pallets in the days ahead to reline the floors of the shed. I brought down my hydraulic wood splitter and ran it through a few cycles. It's working just fine. So I'm gonna be able to take some of the bigger chunks that I busted off the logs and break them down into smaller, more manageable sizes that will actually fit in the stove. A good portion of what I have now that's already been processed is too big to put in the stove, so I gotta cut it down, split it down smaller. So I'll be doing that as time allows. It's gonna take a good year for that wood to season. It'll probably be ready to burn, in the fall or into the winter. But with oak, if you cut it really small, it'll dry quicker. But I like to have some big overnight size pieces, so I don't want to cut it too small. So I'll be working on that as in the days and weeks ahead, as time permits. I gotta pace myself because there's an awful lot of work to do, and I don't want to burn myself out or fatigue my body, break things. So that's my plan moving forward. I'll keep you guys posted on my progress. It's not as hard as it might look. I mean, they are big logs, but you just gotta, take them apart a little by little. And I've certainly developed a good technique to do that. So I'll just keep doing what I'm doing and keep you in the loop. Have a great day.